So this morning I got up and I usually look at my phone in the morning when I'm in the bathroom and getting ready to take off. And this has kind of been on my mind a lot lately for some personal reasons. But the act or the practice or I don't think it's conscious behavior at all, of airing out your stuff on social media. And basically it's talking, in some cases it's talking to your phone, talking to the screen on your phone and recording it while you're doing that. Is a very bizarre behavior, in my opinion. It's probably bizarre to me because I'm from a generation that, we didn't have any of this stuff. I don't think I had my first iPhone until 2010, maybe. I had like, my first phone was like a Nokia. It was kind of clunky, and I had to pull the antenna up to answer the phone, and it just had a screen, digital screen with numbers on it. It didn't have there was no camera in it. There was definitely no camera in it. And then I think I had a Motorola flip phone, those little razor phones that did do text, but the texting was, you had to text by the keypad with the numbers. So each number is assigned like 3 letters. So for instance, number 1 is ABC. If you wanted to spell something with the B, you had to hit that button twice. The C 3 times, and the A obviously just once. But that's how you had to text. So texting was like ridiculous. And the cameras on those phones were very grainy and they weren't good. Rudimentary. But anyway, what we have now is like ridiculous. It's basically a high definition computer. I just learned recently that Sony is going to phase out all of their consumer grade cameras. So cameras that are under like $1,000 in that range. They'll still carry all of the, professional high-end cameras. And the reason that they're doing that is because Sony is what is in your iPhones after a certain issue or number of iPhone. It's first thing in the morning. I have no coffee. This is no coffee, you guys. So from like the 12s and up, what you actually have in there is a Sony product. The camera is a Sony camera. So if they have their cameras in the iPhones, there's no need to even, they're just competing with themselves if they're still selling consumer grade products. Anyway, that was a little digression there. But anyway, my point is that my experience of growing up is, lots of playing outdoors. There just wasn't, there was no reason to really sit in the house. You didn't have a computer. You didn't have that. You didn't have this other level of distraction, and you had this more. You socialized differently because you had this group of friends and neighborhood friends and schoolmates and all of the different social groups that you always engaged with just face to face, always engaged with people face to face. You didn't have this other mode of, you didn't have this anonymity of technology. But anyway, we've gotten to a place now with it, and I'm certain that all of the use of the technology is just it's slowly rewiring our neural pathways and our brain connections. And I mean, I've seen it firsthand for myself. Someone handed me a picture one time, and I put my fingers on the picture and spread my fingers out like I was going to enlarge the photograph. And that's just my brain doing that, because I've developed this new wiring, because that's what I do on my phone. But yeah, so there seems to be a bit of a disconnect with people who are venting and talking about some pretty personal stuff to the screen of their computer, or the screen of their iPhone rather, and then broadcasting it for anyone to see. And, you know, I mean, if you had that kind of an issue when you talk to a friend or a family member or whoever, or a therapist, you know, but it's, to me, it's very bizarre, but I'm not really of that age group. So I don't know. And I feel like it just perpetuates loneliness, because if you don't get a response on that, because that's what everyone is looking for. If you don't get the response from people on there, and pay attention, because this is really relevant to the next thing I'm going to talk about. If you don't get a response on there, it has to perpetuate your despair and your loneliness. My next issue in regards to that, or my next topic, I don't have an issue with it. My next topic is the We've Got to Do Something group of people that exist. And I feel like, first of all, I feel like the people who say we've got to do something, that's all they do. They just go around saying we've got to do something. There's no action after that. They're not investigating how they can get involved and what organizations they can support, what efforts they can make to try to make a difference. Also aired out on the internet, a very intense and accusatory kind of finger pointing. You guys don't care. I can't believe it. Who the fuck are you guys anyway? Which is not fair. It's not fair because it seems like they are they don't know what other people are doing. One, you don't know what other people are doing. Some people are very private about the things that they do. I am. In general, I'm very private about what I do. Which sounds ridiculous, me talking and posting this online. Two, I know this from experience. I grew up with a father like this. Very intense, very come at you about things, and the same thing. Well, what are you going to do about it? Well, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing any of us can ever actually do about a war. They make you think that you have some power to do something about it, but you don't. People that come out like that and are intense like that, a lot of people just take a step back. So it's the opposite of the intended effect of rallying. Are you trying to rally people? You can't rally them like that by pointing fingers and trying to riddle people with guilt about not being involved in an effort that is completely out of our power of doing anything about. And number three, if you want to affect change, if you want to make a difference in the world, you don't need to look any further than your own neighborhood. There are so many things that you can do to assist humanity with all the problems that are going on right now. You could go online, you could look to volunteer, you could make fucking bagged lunches and hand them out to homeless people. There's many, many, many things that you can do to help people right here, right in your community. And that's the power that you have. You have the power to affect change in your immediate environment. That's as far as your reach is. You can vote, you can do all that stuff, you can fucking scream and yell about presidential candidates and all that, but you know what? You're not going to make a difference with any of that stuff. So don't get fucking hoodwinked with that idea. If you want to make a change, get off your fucking ass, go outside, go on your computer, talk to some local people, find out what it is that you can do that'll make a difference right there at home. That's what you can do. And if you're getting on the internet and you're pointing your finger at other people and you're accusatory and you're saying, you know, what, you guys don't even, I can't believe you don't even care. What kind of a thing is that to say? You don't know what everyone's doing in their lives. You don't know what everyone's going through in their lives. You don't know what position people take. So if you really want to make a difference, just go outside and look around. Talk to your fucking neighbors. Make alliances with your neighbors. You know, get off your goddamn phone. Get off your phone, put your fucking phone down, and just go outside and talk to some of your neighbors and go to some of the local organizations and see what you can do to help. That's where you're going to make a change. That's all I have to say about that. I've done it in my own life. I've gone around and handed out food and tried to make a little bit of a difference that way. You know, there's people that need coats and stuff when it starts getting cold. Go over to a fucking Goodwill bins or something. Or go through your closet. You know, you could do the littlest thing is going to make a difference. I think people have this idea that they have to do this grandiose, this big effort, you know. And it's just, you just get lost in translation with that. Your little one little person, you know, thing that you do, or your one little person protest or whatever. It's like you're not rallying people to kind of get on your side. It seems that where we're at right now requires that we go back to more of a village mentality, where we can help each other. And that's what we're missing, because most of us are very separated from our neighbors and from our communities. And I believe that all that stuff is by design. But that's a whole other conversation, and I've already gone on for almost 15 minutes. So anyway, everybody have an awesome day. I hope you enjoyed the deer that I saw on the way back home in my car while I was talking. Peace out.